Friends, welcome back once again in the video lecture series of operating system. Its subject code is 1618305. Today I am going to teach you unit number 3, interprocess communication and synchronization. And under this unit, I am going to teach you the hardware support for mutual exclusion. This is my name and my designation. So let's start with the video. So before going deeper into video, let us discuss the main points that we will going to include in this content. First is your mutual exclusion. Then I will teach you about some basics of mutual exclusion, that is basic concepts. Later on, I will teach you about hardware used in mutual exclusion, then hardware solutions which are related to your mutual exclusion, and then I will try to summarize the above topic under summary section, and at the end of the video I will also give the references which is related to your books, URL and different YouTube videos, right? So let us start with the first topic, that is, what do you mean by mutual exclusion? So it is a process or property of concurrency control which instituted for the purpose of preventing the race condition. म्यूचुअल एक्सक्लूजन होता क्या है कि जब भी दो प्रोसेस एक शेयर्ड रिसोर्स के लिए पीछे भागते हैं तो दोनों के बीच में कन्फ्लिक्ट ना हो जाए, इस चीज के लिए इस कंकरेंसी को कंट्रोल करता है म्यूचुअल एक्सक्लूजन, right? Next, it is the requirement that one thread of execution never enters the critical section at the same time. That means अगर दो प्रोसेस एक शेयर्ड रिसोर्सेस को एक बार में चाह रहे हैं एग्जीक्यूट करने के लिए, तो उन दो प्रोसेस में से किसी एक प्रोसेस को एक बार में वो शेयर्ड रिसोर्स मिलेगा और तब तक दूसरे को वेट करना पड़ेगा, राइट? जैसे ही पहला उस शेयर्ड रिसोर्स को रिलीज करता है एग्जीक्यूशन के बाद, तभी दूसरे प्रोसेस को वो शेयर्ड रिसोर्स फर्दर एग्जीक्यूशन के लिए उसको मिलेगा. It refers to an interval of time during the thread of execution access a shared resource such as a shared memory. That means what? There is a time span which is given to a particular process for execution, and till then no other process will enter in its critical section. So that is the best beauty of your mutual exclusion. So this is the paper which is given, and it was published in 1965, where the mutual exclusion has been taken into account to the first time, and it was solved by Ajay W. Dikshitra, right? Okay, so this is the best example of mutual exclusion through which through the diagram it has been self-explained. That is, this is the initial state of the linked list, and it is starting from I minus 1. This is I, this is I plus 1 and I plus 2. And when linked list is after removal of the expression, that means here we are quite watching this thing, that is, these two nodes are being what? Disconnected, right? Okay, and the resultant linked list will be I minus 1 to I plus 1 and I plus 2. That means this node has been what? Deleted, or this will be removed. That is the best beauty of your mutual exclusion. So what are the basic concepts of mutual exclusion? First, it controls the access of the shared resource by controlling the mutual exclusion of the part of its program where the resource would be used. Actually, it is the concurrency control. Concurrency control means what? Ki the process will be execute concurrently, but there should be a control that there should not have any type of conflict between these process to share the resource. A successful solution to this problem must have at least two properties. What are the two properties? It must be implemented mutual exclusion. Mutual exclusion means only one process can be executed in the critical section at a time, right? Critical section is the region which is the shade between two processes, right? It may be your cooperative process, right? It must be free from deadlock. The process are trying to enter the critical section. One of them must be eventually able to do so successfully, provided no other process stays in the critical section permanently. See, uh, mutual exclusion is the way to remove the deadlock. How? In Hindi, I can explain you. Suppose एक प्रोसेस किसी क्रिटिकल सेक्शन को लेना चाहता है एग्जीक्यूशन के लिए, तो उस समय ऐसा कभी नहीं होना चाहिए कि दूसरा प्रोसेस परमानेंटली किसी क्रिटिकल सेक्शन को लेकर के हमेशा के लिए बैठा हो. अगर होगा तो वो हमेशा उस सिचुएशन में डेडलॉक की पॉसिबिलिटी बनी रहेगी. तो म्यूचुअल एक्सक्लूजन कहता है, क्या कहता है कि no process will take the critical section permanently. Okay, so the problem with the mutual exclusion addresses is a problem of resource sharing. So sometimes what is going to happen, whenever we are sharing the resource, at that time there may be some problem with the mutual exclusion. Let's see how. There is a question regarding mutual exclusion. What is the question? Let us discuss first question, then we will try to find out its solution. So the question is, how can a software system control multiple processes accessing a shared resource when each process needs exclusive control of the resource while doing its work? This question is clear to you? The question is very clear, right? So what is the solution regarding that? So for this, mutual exclusion is the solution to this. Why? Because shared resources available when the process is specified code segment is called in the critical section. So whenever such type of problem occurs, we can resolve this problem by using mutual exclusion. Again, I am telling you, what is mutual exclusion? That when a process is in its critical section, then no other process will enter in this critical section. That is the best example of avoidance of a process to go in the deadlock. So see here, so this is a resource which is vacant, and these resources is shareable by two people. First is your this is boy and B is girl, and this the changing room initially lies vacant, allowing the people to enter the room and use it. So this is a very good example. So if the boy wants to change his dress, at that time girl has to wait outside, or if girl has taken this changing room for changing the dress, the boy should wait outside, right? So this is the best example of your mutual exclusion. So lockout freedom guarantees that any process wishing to enter the critical section will be able to do so eventually. What is the lockout freedom guarantee? What is the lockout freedom? Lockout freedom means what? Suppose a process is in critical section, that means what? अगर एक बंदा अगर चेंजिंग रूम को अगर यूज कर रहा है ड्रेस चेंज करने के लिए, तो वो अंदर से वो लॉक लगा देगा. इट मीन्स एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम दैट स्पेस विल नॉट बी utilized by the other process, right? This is the distinct from deadlock avoidance, which requires that some waiting process be able to get the access of the critical section, but do not require that every process will get in turn. See, this is very much, there is a marginal difference between deadlock avoidance and deadlock prevention. That means so many processes can wait for the same resource for execution, but it is not necessary that everyone will get the resource as per their demand, right? If the two processes continues trading a resource between them, the third process could be lockout and experience resource starvation. This is very uh, obvious. That means अगर रिसोर्स जो है को तीन लोग चाह रहे हैं और रिसोर्स सिर्फ दो लोगों के बीच में ही सिर्फ अगर शेयरिंग हो रहा है, तो तीसरा जो प्रोसेस है एक लंबे समय तक वेटिंग उसको करना पड़ेगा, और जिसके वजह से हमारा वो प्रोसेस हमारा स्टारवेशन के कंडीशन में वो जा सकता है, एंड फर्दर दिस मे लीड्स टू ए डेडलॉक सिचुएशन. ओके, so if a system is free of lockout, it ensures that every process can get in turns at some time in the future. That means जब लॉक जो खुल जाता है, that means the lock is open for other process to get that particular critical section as per their wish. A bounded waiting property gives the more precise commitment that the lockout freedom. See, lockout freedom is a good procedure for giving a process for execution. But how many times? Lockout does not give the guarantees that how many times it will provide the critical section for a particular process. But when we will apply bounded waiting, then we are much sure that how many process has taken the critical section in what many times. Okay, so lockout freedom ensures every process can access the critical section eventually. One thing is very important whenever we are talking about lock time freedom. So lockout freedom is very important techniques, and in this technique it ensures that every process which is seeking for the shared resource will get the shared resource eventually. Under bounded wait property, each process has a finite maximum waiting time. That means waiting time is being limited for a particular process in bounded wait. That means it may so happen that the particular process may or may not get the critical section for execution if it is following the bounded waiting condition, right? Okay. So here there is three categories. Initially the queue is empty. That means this is the shared resources empty. That is 0 1 2, there are three 0 1 2 3, there are four process which is requesting for the this queue, and one is requesting for the 3 and 3 is requesting for 1, right? And this is known as your request and this is known as your okay. And the second one, what is going to be happen, that is 0 1 2 3 is here and 2 has been allotted to the what shared resources. So right now 2 has been allotted to the this shared resource, and 3 is again requesting for the this particular shared resource which is already taken up by this one 2, right? And in third one, what is going to happen, one has released the third one 3 1, and 3 is again process 3 is again coordinating for the 2. That means in this situation the entire queue will be empty. Okay, so what are the important hardware that is used in mutual exclusion. In uniprocessor system, the simplest solution to active mutual exclusion is to disable the interrupt during the process of critical section. Just disable the interrupt. The first thing, अगर इंटरप्ट को अगर डिसेबल कर देंगे तो नई कोई चीज आएगी ही नहीं, और नई कोई चीज नहीं आएगी तो ऑटोमेटिकली ये म्यूचुअल एक्सक्लूजन को ऑटोमेटिकली ये अटेंड कर लेगा. It will prevent any interrupt service routine from the running, right? Okay, fine. This is self-explanatory. Although this solution is effective, but it leads to many problems. हालांकि ये जो solution है effective है, but it can leads to many problems. How? That means the higher priority jobs which wants to come for execution will not be entertained anymore, right? So in the critical section is long, then the system clock will drift every time the critical section will be executed. That is very important regarding this type of situation. If a process halts during the critical section, it controls and will never return to another process, effectively halting the entire system. So sometimes halting a process will create a major disadvantages into the critical section, into the mutual exclusion. How? If the process will be halt, ultimately it may halt the entire system, and if the entire system will be halt, then the critical section cannot be provided to the second process. Okay, so one more good method for achieving mutual exclusion is busy and wait. What is busy and wait? Busy and wait is the effective for both of the system, that is your uniprocessor and multiprocessor system. The use of shared memory and the atomic test and set instruction provided the mutual exclusion. So basically shared use of shared memory, and there is a technique, that is atomic test and set instruction. So these two intended for establishing the mutual exclusion. The process can test and set on a location in a shared memory, and since operation is atomic, only one process can set a flag at a time. So this is a technique, test and set is a technique which is applied on the shared memory by a process, right? And this operation is, so let's talk about hardware solution. If a process is unsuccessful, then what is to be happen with it? So that process is encouraged to do some another task and come back once again, right? कोई प्रोसेस अगर अनसक्सेसफुल अगर हो रहा है तो उसको हम लोग इस तरीके से सेट करते हैं कि आप अपने बाकी के काम करके आ जाइए और दोबारा आप यहाँ पे आकर के लग जाइएगा, राइट? नेक्स्ट, release the process to another process and try again or continue to loop while checking the flag until it is being successful in the acquiring it. That means जब तक से कि किसी प्रोसेस जब तक से सक्सेसफुल नहीं हो जाता है तो उसको बार बार हम लोग या उसको हम इस तरीके से बताएंगे कि अभी आप बाकी का काम करके आ जाइए और उसके बाद आप दोबारा से आप आ जाइएगा तो हम आपको टाइम दे देंगे इसको एग्जीक्यूशन के लिए. इन दिस वे दिस प्रोसेस में go in sometimes loop so that an unsuccessful process may be successful. So for that, preemption is still possible. So how this can be achievable? This can be achievable by using the preemptive technique. Several other atomic operations, right, can be used to provide mutual exclusion of data structure, most notable are known as your CAS. So there are several other techniques. One of the important technique which attains the concept of, yeah, the technique of mutual exclusion is CAS. What is CAS? Compare and swap. Okay, fine. So CAS is used to achieve weight-free mutual exclusion for any shared data structure by creating linked lists. So in this way, CAS basically does not, it gives a very good mutual exclusion in which we don't have to wait free, right? And in this way, we are getting a very good type of data structure which is known as your linked list. Cas is then used to change the pointers in the linked list during the insertion of new nodes. So if you want to insert a new node at that time, uh, CAS is changing the pointer of the linked list so as to add the new node. Only one process can be successful in its CAS. This is very important. Whenever you are talking about CAS, only one process will be successful and all other processes are attempting to add a node at the same time will have to try again. So how other process will get succeed? If they will go for adding a new node, and this will be adding a new node will be an activity which has to be taken place again and again. Okay, each process can keep a local copy of data structure and traversing the linked list, which can perform each operation from linked list to its local copy. That is very important. That means each process has to have its own local copy of the data structure and it has to traverse the linked list for getting the successful process. Okay, so let's talk about summary. So mutual exclusion is the property of concurrency control that we have already discussed earlier, right? It is used for preventing the race condition. It is a requirement that one thread of execution never enters the critical section at the same time that the other concurrent thread of execution enters in its critical section. That means if अगर एक प्रोसेस ऑलरेडी आपका क्रिटिकल सेक्शन में है तो दूसरा प्रोसेस आपका क्रिटिकल सेक्शन में कभी नहीं जाएगा, राइट? द प्रॉब्लम विच म्यूचुअल एक्सक्लूजन एड्रेसेस इज अ प्रॉब्लम ऑफ रिसोर्स शेयरिंग. कभी कभी क्या होता है, जैसा कि आई हैव ऑलरेडी डिस्कस टू यू, कभी कभी रिसोर्स शेयरिंग भी एक तरीके का प्रॉब्लम रह जाता है म्यूचुअल एक्सक्लूजन में. सो व्हाट इज द सॉल्यूशन रिगार्डिंग दैट? सो एनी प्रोसेस विच इज गोइंग टू बी अनसक्सेसफुल, उस प्रोसेस को हम लोग कहते हैं कि आप बाकी के काम निपटा करके आ जाइए और फिर से आप आकर के हम लोगों को अप्रोच कीजिए. सर्टेनली इन दिस वे द प्रोसेस गेट्स सक्सेसफुल. Releasing the process to another process and try it again or continue to do loop. These are the different techniques through which we can make the unsuccessful process to a successful process, right? Okay, so in this way, one of the good technique that mutual exclusion can have, that if we are providing or if we are adopting preemption technique, that will be fruitful in the concept of your mutual exclusion. So let's talk about some references. These are some references of books, URL YouTube. So thank you for watching this video. Have a nice